Hello, eighth grade parents. We are about a month away from the DC field trip, and I'm just trying to touch base with you guys to give you some updates and keep the conversation going about what's going to happen and how it's all going to look. I know some of you have had kids that have gone on a trip before, and so you know the routine, but maybe some others don't know exactly how it all goes. And so I'm here to start answering some questions. And if you could stay on to the very end of this video, I've got some homework for you to do at the very end. So let me tell you what I've been doing. Again, our trip's about a month away. And the cost of the trip. This year, I've tried to do all of the planning and contacting myself instead of working with a travel agent, which has saved us a considerable amount of money. So in the first email I sent out, I said that last year we paid about $420. And this year I've been able to reduce that cost by doing all the legwork myself to get the price down to about $320 plus $20 of cash for one of our museum lunches. So that's a pretty significant savings, but that will require this time though bringing $20 for each kid to have on their person when we go to the Museum of the Bible, because we're going to be eating there. And in the past, we've just paid one big sum and then all the things have been included. I've done that for the most part, but the one meal we do have to pay for on our own. So $320 is all the money that you need for most of the trip, but there will be an extra fee for one of the lunches. So you need to bring some money. And I've just said $20 just to keep it a nice round figure. Museum lunches are usually a little bit more expensive than normal lunches. So I put $20 down there as just sort of a benchmark. When do we leave? Well, we leave around 6 a.m. on Monday of November the 6th. So I'm asking that if you could arrive a little bit before that, about 15 minutes before, and then we're going to pack the bus up. And you can also have one smaller bag for the bus. So we're going to put one big bag underneath the bus, which will have maybe a pillow if you want it for the hotel room and all of like your clothes. And then whatever you need for the bus, maybe electronics or whatever, or maybe a pillow for the bus as well. That's something you could bring on the bus, but a small little bag for the bus, and then one big bag of all your clothing to be put underneath the bus. So you can have two bags. The trip itinerary, I've linked a Google Doc to this itinerary. And so you can open that up whenever you get this video. I'll attach it to the bottom and it shows you what we're planning on doing. This is pretty much finalized. Some things are a little bit different than previous years. So if you've had a kid that's gone in the past, I've made some changes just to keep it new and fresh. And so we don't always see the same things every year that's the same. And also just to optimize some things, make them just run a little bit more smoothly. Sometimes we have different museums that we go to. And this year I just picked a couple new ones so that we could just see something different. So here's our itinerary. You can look at it in more detail if you have any questions about those stops. I'll be going over these different places with your student in class, try to prepare them for what to be looking for and what we can be learning from each of the places. But you can do that too, ask them what they're most excited about seeing and kind of walk over the itinerary with them. That would be probably a good thing to do. The rules, really quickly, the rules, basically all the rules that you would follow at Trinity, you're going to follow on the DC trip with some modifications. We are allowing phones. Use them during the bus, use them for emergencies, take pictures at museums, call home, stay in contact, all that stuff. So if you have a phone, the student's allowed to bring it if parents want it. But at 9:30, we do ask that the students give their phones to their chaperones and that they plug them in for the night in someone else's hotel room, in the hotel room of the chaperone. That way we just avoid any kind of incidents, weird things that would happen. We just want to prevent all that. So, and also most importantly, I guess, get the kids to bed nice and early so they're not up on their phones late at night. So yeah, if your student has a phone, they can bring it to the trip. And if they don't, you can contact your student through us if you want to email me or text me or call me, and then I can put your kid on the phone so you can stay in touch with your kid if you want to call while they're away. But yeah, so phones are allowed, but at night they get put in chaperone's room. Lights out at 10 is what we're going to try to do at the hotel. And then we usually have a couple of teachers out in the hallway, making sure kids are staying in their rooms. And Mr. Mauer's pretty good at scaring the kids. So we leave security to Mr. Mauer. So safety is our number one priority. You know, in these strange times, weird things happen. We want to prevent any of that stuff from happening. So we really, if you could sit down with your son or daughter and just talk to them about making really smart decisions while they're out in DC and trying to ignore maybe weird protests that they might see or any possible weird thing that might pop up. We just help them to make good choices and to represent Trinity well, represent Christ well. That's our goal. So we have a lot of chaperones going, 13 chaperones. So we're gonna have a good hold on the kids and make sure that they're being safe. But just if you could remind them, you know, you can't get inside a kid's brain. So as much as you can, encourage them to make really good decisions while they're away. An adult has to know where they're going at all times. So we're not ever going to be separated from a chaperone. But if you were to use the restroom or that kind of stuff, always we ask that they let an adult know where they're going. We do have a relaxed dress code, so you don't have to wear what you wear during a normal school day, but modesty is still key. So if you wear jeans, we ask that they not be ripped jeans. We still want to look modest. So hoodies are good. It's going to be in November in DC, so it'll be a little chilly. So probably pack some layers, have a raincoat. We don't know if it's going to rain or not. So make sure you help them pack too. Sometimes we've had kids that have been a little underpacked, and we've had to make some last minute adjustments by going to the store and buying some things. So if you could help them pack so that they wear some good warm clothes and lots of layers. So if it is hot, sometimes it's been in the 60s or 70s while we've been there. So that happens as well. So again, what we want to do is represent Trinity well, represent Christ well. We want to be good ambassadors. So that's what we want to emphasize. The money stuff, you are not required to bring any money except the money that you would need for one lunch at the Museum of the Bible. But if you do want to buy other things like any kind of things at the gift store, or if you just want to buy a snack or that kind of thing, they can bring money, but you don't have to. The trip has been planned in such a way so that all their food will be provided for them except for that one thing. The trip will be billed through fax and RenWeb, and so that'll happen about a week or so before the trip, and you get an email that says, hey, they're about to deduct X amount of dollars from your account. So just be on the lookout for that about a week before, and then the week later they bill you. The Bowsers are organizing a hoagie sale. We're happy about that. On Monday, I'll be passing out, hopefully, the information about that fundraiser, and you can participate if you want to, and if you don't want to, that's also fine. It's for those that want a way to raise up some money so the cost isn't quite so expensive. We will have a pit stop on the way there and on the way back, and all those souvenirs and snacks would be on the student if they wanted to buy those things. But again, I kind of discourage that. The less money students have on them, usually the better. I have a packing list on a Google Doc that you can look at and click on at your leisure. Remember to not overpack, but to have lots of layers because it might be cold in DC in November. So if you could just remind your students to pack well. And there's a list that kind of reminds you of the things that you need, toiletries and that kind of thing. We have a lot of chaperones going, which I'm really thankful for, but a reminder to get your clearances. If you haven't got your clearances yet, the office can always help you out with that. I can help you out with that if you don't know how to do that. It's a pretty easy, painless process, but you do want to get started on it as soon as possible so that there's not any last minute scariness. That's the address of our hotel. And just in case you want to know how to get in contact if there's an emergency with your son or daughter. And then we'll be coming back home on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. is the plan, and I will be texting you guys with a better ETA when we're on the road. So this is your homework. If you could please text me. My phone number is 412-540-0099 with your name. And then if your kid's name is different, if you could let me know that just so I can put you in my contacts. And then we can start a giant text chain while we're in DC so that I can keep you guys up to date, maybe show you some pictures of what we're doing. And if you ever need to contact me or we need to contact you in an emergency, I'll have that. So that's your homework. Please text me as soon as you get this. Watch it with your son or daughter. Start having that conversation, and also email me with any questions that you might have. And yeah, thank you for letting us do this trip, and I'm excited about all the possibilities. See you guys. God bless.